What's happening, people? Welcome to the United Stand. It's the last game of 2018, man. And it's against Bournemouth. We want to keep this winning run going. Listen, I've got to start by saying there's a lot of fixtures that have gone our way. A lot of fixtures that have gone our way. If you're looking at the Arsenal game, we knew they would lose against Liverpool. Maybe not so heavily. Even they surprised me at that. Or did they, really? It's the same old thing with Arsenal. Obviously, the real standout one is Tottenham, man. Them getting done over 3-1 by Wolves. And you think back to when we drew with Wolves, 1-0, I think it was, wasn't it, this season? And everyone was laughing at us because we were Banter FC back then. And, you know, but they've gone on to beat Chelsea, to get a draw against Arsenal away. They're a good side. So all of a sudden, that draw against Wolves, as embarrassing as it may seem, doesn't look like as bad a point. But anyway, that, you know, Spurs losing as well. So we've got a real chance here to get right back in that top four race. And we should beat Bournemouth. You know, they're a good side, we know that. But we've got to have a bit of caution to the wind. You've only got to look at the results that have happened this week. You know, even Cardiff beat Everton as well. Sorry, no, that was Brighton. But Brighton beat Everton. But, you know, you're just looking at different fixtures along the Christmas period. And I was saying to Craig before we started recording, yes, we should be beating Bournemouth and I expect 3 points, but you have to have that little bit of caution, man. Like, because the Christmas period is a busy time. Players get fatigued, teams change, the fluidity changes. You know, there's a lot of changes in terms of personnel because the games are coming thick and fast. So that usually makes for crazy shock results. And I don't want us to be a victim of that today, especially because we've been chucking it to Arsenal fans and Spurs fans. I was on it all night last night. Do you know what? It was nice to have a little bit of release, you know? We've been bantered all season and I've had to just take it. So yesterday, obviously, I know a lot of Arsenal fans. I know a lot of Tottenham fans. And I was just reeling them in on Twitter. That was nice, but it means nothing if we don't go and get the result today. That's the problem when you chuck out the banter before your game. But it's banter and it's Christmas, it's New Year's, whatever. It's all about that, and we've been having such a bad time that it's nice to get up to the rivals again, isn't it? Because we've had our fair share this season. But today's game, I mean, I don't mind seeing obviously some changes because Ollie said and reiterated the whole time that he has to make changes. You know, he's got to. It's a busy fixture period, and the players need rotating. So I hope Martial's back. I think Alexis will probably be on the bench. Don't think he'll be fit enough to start. And Lukaku should be back as well. It'll be interesting to see what he does. If he does start, I'm not going to be like, why is he coming back and starting? Because at the end of the day, I see it as, you know, Rashford's played a lot of games recently, and you know, we're not in training. He could be looking at it, Ollie and the boys could be looking at it thinking, well, Rashford could sit this one out. You know, we've got Newcastle away in a couple of days' time. He'll start that game. So I'm not going to be too critical of the lineup within reason. Like I said when it was Ollie's first game against Cardiff, obviously it was his first game, and even then I said I'm not going to be too critical of the starting 11. And I think just this Christmas period in general, I don't think we can take too much from the starting lineups as a whole. There's certain players you'll look at and think, yeah, they should be starting. But even a couple of players that you might think, oh, really? I'm not really sure about that. I'm not going to be too overly critical in this period because there's, like I said, there's so many games that the squad needs rotating, and also Ollie needs to give people a chance. I can understand that. So I'm not going to be overly critical. I'm expecting 3 points. I am. I don't think it's going to be a battering. I know, obviously, last time out, Bournemouth got their asses handed to them by Spurs 5-0. I'm not predicting anything like that. I think it'll be not a close game, but I don't think it'll be as easy as everyone thinks. So I'm going to go, and this clean sheet thing still bothers me, but I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to say we're going to get that clean sheet today. I'm going to say 2-0. We were close to getting that clean sheet against Huddersfield, and it was a shame that it was a set piece that undone us. But I think there's got to be a time when we get one. And I'm going to go for today. I'm going to be optimistic because I'm just feeling positive, actually. So I'm going to go 2-0 Man United win. And the goal scorers, I'm going to go for Martial because I think he'll be back starting again. And I said Pogba in the last one, didn't I? And I said someone will get two, but I didn't know who it would be. It ended up being Pogba. I'm going to go for that guy Pogba again. I just think since we've been allowed to start playing, we've started to see And I say starting because it is only starting. It's been 2 games. We're starting to see what Pogba can do and why he's our best outfield player, along with Martial, in my opinion. So I want to continue to see that. I want to see Matic continue to play in this kind of freedom. To be fair, I've been Matic's biggest critic. I've got to hold my hands up. In the last couple of games, he's been good. I don't think you can argue with that. The back 4, again, I was talking to Craig on the way up and sort of saying that if Phil Jones starts, then he starts. I'm not really going to criticise that. He's done enough in the last 2 games to warrant starting. But again, I don't mind the squad rotation. It's such a busy time that you can't look at it and think that's going to be our team going forward. We've got a tougher tests to come in January. Obviously, we've got Spurs game in that month as well. After Tottenham, I think that after Newcastle, I think that is after Reading, should I say? But there's a lot of games, so I don't really mind if the likes of Phil Jones starts or Dalot starts. You know, he had a bad game against Huddersfield. Dalot wasn't quite at the races, but I think he'll go with Young today. But if Dalot was to start, then good on him. You know, he needs games. But I'm all up for the squad rotation. For me, interesting to see Ollie's press conference. Not press conference. He did an interview with Sky actually, and he was talking about. They were talking about the impact he can have on like the likes of De Gea and Martial to extend their deals, and he just sort of said, look, Man United's the best place to be. You know, there's not much he can really say apart from reminding them they're the biggest club in the world and that things are basically going to be all right for them. And he said there's not a lot of times where the grass is greener when you're at Man United. To be fair, I would have begged to differ over the Jose tenure. There was a lot of grass that was a hell of a lot greener. But I think what he means is that the club will always keep going and things will change, and that's what's happened. So hopefully these next 6 months, he provides this atmosphere and this environment that our players need to thrive, because he keeps reiterating that all he's done so far hasn't had a chance to change much tactically. Again, because there's been so many games in such a short space of time, and because he's only going to be there for 6 months as well. So tactically, he hasn't just come and changed everything. It's more been about morale and attitude and endeavour. So I hope he just continues to do that and just enjoy the ride and just see where we go. I mean, we've got the chance to close that gap to 4th to 3 points. 3 points. Who would have thought that? I mean, I remember standing outside Old Trafford a hell of a lot of times and saying and listening to fans and agreeing with them that top 4 is done. Our season is done. All we can hope for is top 6. And it just goes to show you, not along with the change in manager, you look at the fixtures, how they can just change just like that. It's amazing to see how quickly things can change. We were at one point where we 11 points off top 4, and now it could be down to 3, and that's in the space of a month. So who's to say we can't get top 4? And then we keep pace, we keep winning our games, and we get to Tottenham, nick a win out of that, then we're really in some serious business. So who knows, man? It's exciting times. I think it's important for us as fans to just be patient and just enjoy it, enjoy the football, enjoy wanting to watch Man United again. Because for me, that's been the biggest change in the last 2 weeks since Jose's gone, or 3 weeks, whatever it's been. 2 weeks, I think it's been. The biggest change for me is actually this drive don't feel as bad. Yeah, Cockney Red takes me 3 hours to get to the game, 3 hours to get back, etc., etc. All of that jazz from rival fans. Cockney Red, no Manchester accents, all of that shit, whatever. All I know is that this drive that I do in the last 2 weeks, and I know Craig will agree with me, it just feels good again. It don't feel like 3 hours. I actually can't wait to get there to see the team. And being able to watch match of the day, I'm just enjoying the ride. It's our last match of 2018. Let's finish on a bang. Let's finish on a positive, and let's close that gap down to 3 points in top 4. And then 2019 is ours to try and salvage. It's all a bonus, really, isn't it? Like, I think even when Ollie came in, I was the first to say, forget it, forget all the expectancy. The season's a write-off as it is. Just let him get a feel-good factor. Well, we got the feel-good factor straight away, and instantly the teams around us started dropping points, and then we found ourselves in a position of, hang on a minute, we're knocking on the door. So let's just enjoy it. It's been a fantastic 2018 in terms of the support from you guys. It hasn't in terms of Manchester United, but speaking to you guys and getting you guys' opinion and the work that we guys that we do at United Stand has been well received by you lot, and that's what's made my 2018 special in terms of I came on board probably about a year ago now, and it's just gone from strength to strength. It's a shame that the results didn't follow, but we're starting to see that now, and it's nice to be able to do what I do, seeing some positivity and seeing some good results and good performances. So I will see you guys after the fan cams. Get your predictions in the boxes below. Make sure you guys are really loving this vlog that I do on the way up, so that's what we're going to keep doing. And I'll see you guys after the fan cams where we wrap up 2018. Peace.